Hey, hello, how y'all doing? Everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Four Verticals podcast. I'm back. Last week, I didn't get an episode out. There's a lot of shit going on. We had it's finals week this week, technically. Well, I guess it's Saturday when y'all gonna getting this. But during the week, this whole week was finals week, and the week before that was obviously the week leading up to finals week. So I really didn't have a lot of time to do shit. I was busy making sure my grades was decent enough. They are, by the way. Shout out to me. But yeah, so here's an episode because I couldn't leave y'all like 3 weeks without an episode. That's terrible. I wouldn't be doing my job then. We got some stuff I want to talk about. Also some stuff that I don't usually talk about on these podcasts, but I'm going to start doing it anyway because it's my podcast and I can do whatever I want. But yeah, if you're new here, like, subscribe, turn this on in the background, do whatever you do. But let's get to talk about some shit. First thing I want to start off with, the World Cup final is set. It will be Argentina versus France tomorrow. Actually, when will the game be played? It's Argentina-France tomorrow at 9 a.m. my time. And 9 in the morning. Shit. Okay. So yeah, Argentina-France, 9 a.m. We're going to see Messi versus Mbappe, the teammates at PSG, going against each other for their countries to see who will be the FIFA World Cup 2022 champion. If you guys didn't know, France won the World Cup 4 years ago when they played. I believe they beat Croatia, who actually played in the third place game against Morocco today. They beat Morocco 2-1. So congratulations to Croatia for third place. But Argentina has not been to a World Cup final since, I believe, their World Cup final loss versus Germany, I want to say. I'm not 100% sure on that. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, this should be a pretty exciting match. So somebody who's not, admittedly, I can't lie, I'm not a soccer fan. But I did watch a decent amount of this World Cup. And I find it pretty easy to, absorb the sport and kind of know what's going on. It took me a while. It definitely took me a few matches. Like when the USA played their first match against, who did we play our first match against? Was it Wales? I believe we played the first match against Wales. I really didn't know too much of what was going on, but I watched a few other matches after that. Pretty quickly picked up, what was going on. And I will say, soccer's a pretty damn interesting sport. I'm still not the biggest fan of the sport just because it's just not my cup of tea. I'm much more of a basketball, football kind of dude, but soccer is pretty damn entertaining. And they gotta run around a lot. Like, I did not. They really run around for 90 minutes just straight. And there's not a lot of substitutions. Like you would expect, hey, these motherfuckers running around for 90 minutes at a time, they gonna get tired. I guess they just don't, which is, hey, cardio on 10, but like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I can't give you any in-depth analysis on whether I think Argentina or France is gonna win. I just hope Argentina wins because people say that Messi's the greatest of all time and he doesn't have a World Cup win, so that would be cool for him to get one. So as far as this World Cup final goes, I am an Argentina fan and I'm gonna be watching tomorrow. So yeah. My entire thoughts on the World Cup. We do have another bit of news slightly related to the World Cup that I will talk about after, but my thoughts on the World Cup as a whole. Excuse me if you hear that. I'm shaking my protein smoothie, and if you hear that, that's my bad. What are my thoughts on the World Cup? I think that this World Cup was pretty damn successful. I'm an American, and it was flooding my timeline when the USA was playing, not even much more so, but even still after USA got knocked out, I still see a bunch of tweets on my timeline about the World Cup, about, plays. I still see highlights, shit like that. My TikTok. So TikTok now thinks that I am a soccer fan, and I believe like 3-4 days ago, I was scrolling down my TikTok and it was just soccer after soccer after soccer. So the TikTok algorithm, they think I like soccer now. They think soccer is my favorite sport. So if that's any indication of how the World Cup was going, at least for me, I would say it's pretty much a pretty big success. There was a little bit of controversy of them choosing to hold the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. I saw some of that, and it's like, yeah, I get it, but no country really has any place to talk and speak about any other country and their misdeeds with how they treat a specific group of people, because you can put you could put a magnifying glass to any country and be like, hey, you mistreat these people, but that's not what, in my opinion, I don't think that's what the World Cup is supposed to be about. It's just supposed to, be a celebration of football. I don't see. I'm becoming a soccer fan little by little. I'm referring to it as football. I would have never did that like 3-4 weeks ago. But yeah, I thought the World Cup was supposed to be a celebration of soccer talents around the world. So I don't really get why there was the controversy. It was mainly Western media outlets trying to do this, which I find it very interesting that when Western media outlets, when they take a look at places in the Middle East or Asian countries, they have this very condescending tone when they speak about certain issues. Typically, they speak in this condescending tone about stuff that they know absolutely nothing about. That's not anything new. But it's just, I can't help but notice it, and it kind of rubs me the wrong way, because it sort of gives the wrong impression that all people from Qatar are this way, and I don't like shit like that. But my overall thoughts on the World Cup, it was very entertaining. We saw a bunch of storylines play out. I got to watch some good soccer, and tomorrow when Argentina and France face off, we will find out who is the 2022 World Cup champion. So that's that on the World Cup until next episode next week. So yeah. Now we have to move on to a bit of more unfortunate news. American journalist Grant Wall passed recently in Qatar. He was covering the World Cup. He died of an undetected aortic aneurysm, said his wife. This is coming straight from ESPN. Grant Wall died of an aneurysm in his heart while covering a World Cup match this past weekend, according to an autopsy of the well-known American soccer writer. Wall's wife, Dr. Celine Gounder, excuse me if I mispronounced that, said that Wednesday an autopsy was conducted by the New York City Medical Examiner's Office. Grant died from the rupture of a slowly growing, undetected ascending aortic aneurysm with hemopericardium. She wrote on her husband's Substack newsletter. Hemopericardium refers to the blood in the sac that surrounds the heart. The chest pressure he experienced shortly before his death may have represented in the initial symptoms. No amount of CPR or shocks would have saved him. His death was unrelated to COVID. His death was unrelated to vaccination status. There was nothing nefarious about his death. Obviously, a very, very big loss that the, sports journalism community has suffered. ESPN, they reference Grant Wall as a soccer reporter, but if I look at, give me 1 second while I pull this up, Sports Illustrated, Grant Wall. Grant Wall was behind some of the most notable Sports Illustrated articles, of all time. One notable one is the LeBron Chosen One. Everyone knows that iconic cover. He played a part in that. The David Beckham, when he had joined the LA Galaxy, he played a part in that as well. There were a few others. I can't seem to find them right now, but Grant Wall, definitely a huge loss. So I would just like to send my condolences to Grant Wall's family. I would like to say rest in peace, Grant Wall. You will be missed. And yeah, I just wanted to, show my respects to a fellow journalist. He died, unfortunately he passed away doing what he loved. But, is there any other way that you'd want to, pass away besides obviously with loved ones? But hey, he passed away doing what he loved. He was covering a sport that he loved. He was doing the job that he loved, and it's very unfortunate that he had to, unfortunately pass away this way. So once again, my condolences goes out to Grant Wall's family. Rest in peace to Grant Wall. Moving on from the very sad news to some NFL news. We got Saturday NFL games. So yeah, let's talk about those. We got Colts Vikings at noon. I'm currently recording this at 11:10 a.m. and I don't know if this episode's going to be out by noon, but if it's not, then this game is currently going on if you're watching it. We also got Ravens Browns at 3:30. We also do have an update on Lamar Jackson's injury. I'll talk about that after this next game I talk about, which is Dolphins Bills at 7:15. Probably next week I'm gonna do a comprehensive power ranking list. Maybe not even a power ranking list. Maybe I'm just gonna do a top 16 because I don't really care about 17 through 32 of the NFL right now. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Next week, you look forward to a NFL playoff team power rankings or something like that. I haven't figured out what I'll do, but yeah, that's that. Now, an update on Lamar Jackson. I should have had this pulled up. I didn't have it pulled up. That's my fault. Where is it? I can't find it. Okay, here it is. So Tyler Huntley will be starting for the Ravens. There is growing hope that Lamar Jackson will that he will practice next week and will be available for their game next week on Christmas Eve, I believe, against the Atlanta Falcons. So I'm a Ravens fan. Here's hoping Lamar gets healthy within this time frame because we really need him to. We really need him to close out the season and secure this playoff spot. And I really hope we don't end up missing out on the playoffs because that'll be that would suck. That would suck a lot. That'd suck a lot. Now I'm gonna give my picks for the Saturday NFL games. For the Colts Vikings at noon, give me the Vikings. I don't think that the Colts have any business being competitive in a game like that. The Vikings are pretty damn good. The Colts are not. So give me the Vikings. Ravens Browns, I'm obviously going to take the Ravens. Deshaun Watson's been playing like shit. Our defense is much improved. We can't score though, so hopefully we'll not allow them back in the game with 2 minutes left and we have to drive the fucking field again. Even though, hey, last time we had to drive the field, Tyler Huntley drove all the way down and we won that game. So, hey, I don't know. And then Dolphins Bills at 7:15. Give me the Bills. The Dolphins are on a slight decline. I don't think that they're going to pick it up against one of the best teams in football. So give me the Bills. Moving on to some NBA news. Steph Curry, he's out for a few weeks with a shoulder injury. What does this mean for the Warriors? It means that they're fucked. No, in all reality, this doesn't mean that they're fucked, but they are not looking good. If I pull up if I pull up the Warriors record, the Warriors are currently 14-16, and that has been with Steph Curry playing. They're saying they're saying he's going to miss weeks, plural weeks. So let's assume maybe 2 weeks, and let's look at the Warriors schedule. They play the Raptors tomorrow. They're probably going to lose that game because of just matchups and shit like that. Then they play the Knicks. They go on to play the Nets, who are streaking, look very good. The Grizzlies, streaking, look very good. The Hornets, who just got LaMelo Ball back. The Jazz, who have a better record than them. The Blazers, who look pretty damn good this season, also have a better record than them. The Hawks, who I think DeJounte Murray is out with injury, but they play them on January 2nd to start the new year, so potentially might have him back. I'm not sure. The Pistons, unfortunately, Kay Cunningham is having season-ending shin surgery, so they're not going to have him. You can maybe chalk that up as a win, but maybe not, because Steph Curry will still be out. Then we got the Magic. The Magic, they play the Magic on January 7th, and that's what? So that's 3 weeks down the line from now, I believe. Yeah, that's 3 weeks down the line. So 3 weeks down the line, they will have played the Magic, and then their next game isn't until January 10th. So we could potentially expect the Steph Curry return within this January 10th to January 16th timeline. They play 4 games with the Nets span, the Suns, Spurs, Bulls, and the Wizards on January 16th. They're more than likely going to try to get him back before January 19th, which is their second finals rematch against the Celtics. So yeah, that's probably the timeline that we could be looking at, but no promises. I know that they did have an MRI. The MRI came back clean. There was no breaks or anything, but he is going to need this time off. So hopefully the Warriors can stack up a few wins in that time period, because they have been losing. And the season, although we're still, quote, early in the season, we're 30 games in, and teams are starting to look like what they're going to look like for, the rest of the season. Actually, while we're here, let's talk about some teams that I have my eye on, right? So obviously I got my eye on the Celtics. The Celtics have the best record in the league with 22 wins and 8 losses. They have the most wins and also have the least losses in the league. This team has looked fantastic. Jason Tatum was my MVP pick last season. He was also my MVP pick this season because I felt I might have been maybe a year early, and it probably was. Jason Tatum playing like an MVP. This entire team is looking like a well-oiled machine. They're getting Robert Williams back. I think that they're getting Robert Williams back. No, they had Robert Williams back yesterday, didn't they? I think they lost to... Yeah, they had Robert Williams back yesterday. They lost to the Magic, which, I was just talking about how the Celtics are the best team in the league, and they just lost, but whatever. Yeah, they just got Robert Williams back, so we can expect him to play meaningful minutes in the coming weeks, as they ramp up his minutes progression. You don't want to re-aggravate that, what was it, Achilles injury that he had suffered and had surgery on. They play the Magic tomorrow at 2 p.m. So I'll definitely tune in and see what they're looking like with him in their lineup. They've been pretty damn good this season. Well, no, they haven't been pretty damn good. They've been very fucking good this season, seeing as they have the best record in the league. Some other teams I got my eye on. I got my eye on the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers have been pretty damn good. This Donovan Mitchell addition was very, very good for them. It was like exactly what they needed, and this team is going to be scary come playoff time. I do want to see them put it together a little bit more on the road, because their road record is not as good as their home record. Yeah, they're 6-9 on the road, which isn't crazy because most teams' road records tend to dip, but they're 13-2 at home and 6-9 on the road. So that's not the greatest, but whatever. And then the Nets have shockingly, they've turned, I don't want to say turn their season around, but they've picked it up all through radio silence. Part of this is probably because Kyrie Irving has returned to the team and no team wants to cover him and how the Nets are doing right now. That's probably why you're not seeing a bunch of media coverage about the Nets. Don't be fooled. This Nets team, they on a 5-game win streak. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games. They're very good. Do not sleep. This is the Nets team that we thought we were going to be getting walking into the season. It took a little while, but I think they're here, and I think they're ready to tango. Right? Take a look at the Western Conference. The Grizzlies, 19-9 record, and I'm almost 100% sure the trio of John Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr. have not played together at all. So, a lot of people were expecting this team to have a heavy fall off. I was one of them. I was completely wrong. This team is they on a 7-game win streak. Hey, they might just be the best team in the West. No, they are the best team in the West, in my opinion. I think they're the best team in the West. If we look at it through a lens of their 3 best players haven't played together, they have the best record, and not only that, who did they just beat by? They had the Bucks down 50 points at one point when they beat them, and they beat them by 31 on Thursday. So yeah. And before that, they beat the Hawks by 25, and they beat the Pistons by 11, and they beat the Thunder by 20, and they blowing teams out, and they beat the second seed Pelicans by 20 points as well. They're blowing teams out, and hey, all I'm saying is, don't be surprised if this Grizzlies team can hold on to that 1 seed and make some noise during the playoffs. That's all I'm going to say. We talk about the number 2 seed Pelicans. I haven't watched very many Pelicans games, to be honest. But their offense has been running like a well-oiled machine. They look pretty damn good. Only concern is their defense, because their 2 best players, Zion and Brandon Ingram, don't really like to play defense like that. But I don't really have too much to say about the Pelicans. Nuggets are the 3 seed. Jokic's gonna do Jokic shit. I'm really looking for Jamal Murray to return to form, and also I'm not sure what's going on with Michael Porter Jr. Yeah, he's out of the lineup once more. They really cannot catch a break with MPJ. It almost makes me wonder, what if they had stuck with Jeremy Grant in favor of the emerging Michael Porter Jr. I don't think they would have done that, because that's not a move that's not a smart move. It may have, quote, been the right move if you're looking at hindsight, but I don't think that's definitely not the smart move for them to do. And then the number 4 seed is the Suns. I don't want to talk about the Suns, so we're going to move on. We're just going to move on from the Suns. I don't want to talk about them. We're not talking about them. The NBA has the NBA has announced the 2023 All-Star Weekend. The 2023 All-Star Weekend events. Here they are as follows. On Friday, February 17th, the All-Star Weekend will kick off with the NBA Rising Stars practice at 2:30, the Basketball Hall of Fame news conference at 5:30, and then we start from the actual events. The Ruffles NBA All-Star Celebrity Game will take place on ESPN at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and the Rising Stars challenge game, I forgot what they were doing. The Rising Stars event will take place at 9 o'clock on TNT. Moving on to the next day, they got All-Star Practice and Media Day at 1 o'clock. Then they got the NBA x HBCU Classic presented by AT&T on 4 p.m. Eastern Time on NBA TV, TNT, and ESPN2. The teams that will be playing are Southern University and Grambling State. Then at 7 o'clock, Adam Silver will have a news press conference, and then at 8 o'clock, the State Farm All-Star Saturday Night will have the Skills Challenge, 3-point contest, and Slam Dunk contest. I really hope the dunk contest is good this year. I'm kind of getting sick of lackluster dunk contests, especially last year, because I think it was Jalen Green missed like all of his dunks. I don't think he made one. That shit was annoying. But anyway, and then to wrap up All-Star Weekend on Sunday, February 19th, you have the NBA Legends Awards at 1 o'clock Eastern. Then you have the G League Next Generation game at 3 o'clock Eastern. And finally, the 72nd annual NBA All-Star game at 8 o'clock Eastern on TNT. Now that I just read that through, this makes me want to talk about, hold on. I actually had forgot to talk about this, or I forgot to put it on my show notes, because I look at show notes as I'm doing this from what I want to talk about. The NBA just renamed and redesigned all of their trophies, and you're gonna get my thoughts about them. I want to bring them up so I can look at them, because I haven't. Where are they? Okay, all right. So the NBA has decided to rename every single trophy. You're gonna get my opinions on these after you'll get my opinions on the actual trophies and whatnot soon, but I'll give the names of all of the redesigned trophies. The regular season MVP award is now the Michael Jordan Trophy. Fine. The Defensive Player of the Year trophy, the Hakeem Olajuwon Trophy. All right. The Wilt Chamberlain Trophy, the Rookie of the Year trophy is the Wilt Chamberlain Trophy. The Sixth Man of the Year is the John Havlicek Trophy. And the Most Improved Player is the George Mikan Trophy. And they redesigned the MVP as a statue to pay homage to Michael Jordan. Here's what I'll say. NBA. And I'm a Bulls fan saying this. You have more all-time greats than Michael Jordan. I'm not really sure why we got the renaming of all the trophies as well as the redesign. I thought that the redesigned trophies last year didn't look that great, but I was like, okay, whatever. It's the 100th season. Fine, it can get a special edition trophy. Also, it was announced that Nikola Jokic, who was last season's MVP, will retroactively receive the first version of the new trophy being named after MVP last season. So last season, he didn't win the NBA MVP trophy. He will retroactively win the Michael Jordan trophy, even though he got the special 100th anniversary edition MVP trophy, as well as the the MVP trophy that modern era NBA fans are accustomed to. Hold on. And I gotta look this up now, because this is within 3 years we're seeing 3 different MVP trophies. Jokic MVP trophies. Okay. So yeah, you got the regular MVP trophy, which was, I don't remember who this was. I don't remember who this is on the actual MVP trophy. But we got the MVP trophy with the guy dribbling. That's the MVP trophy that I'm used to seeing, right? And then last off season, Jokic, the Nuggets surprised Jokic when he was in Serbia at a fucking horse stable of all places with the circular spherical NBA. Did I say 100? It wasn't the 100th anniversary. It was the 70. Excuse me. It was not the 100th anniversary season of the NBA. I'm thinking of the NFL, which had their 100th season. It's going on 3 seasons ago at this point. It was the 75th anniversary trophy. My mistake. But it was spherical in nature. It was crystal, and it had the NBA 75 logo on it. So yeah. So Jokic received the regular MVP trophy with the dude dribbling, that people hold up by like one. How they hold it by the leg, and then they put their hand underneath the base because it's a pretty fucking big base, and then they hold it like that. And then he received the spherical NBA 75 MVP trophy. I thought that was going to be a one-off. It was a one-off, but they were renaming it anyway. And so now he's going to receive, I believe, the MVP the Michael Jordan MVP trophy, which if you haven't looked at it, hold on. It's not a bad looking trophy. I prefer the traditional MVP trophy that I'm used to seeing players receive. But this it's not a bad trophy, I guess. I wouldn't consider it like the greatest trophy of all time. I don't even particularly like it. It's okay. I guess I'm just used to seeing the other MVP trophy. So yeah, that's enough on that. The final bits of news that I want to talk about this week is something that I don't bring up on this podcast, and that's WWE. I watch WWE. Yes, I know it's fake, but it's an interest of mine. It's a combat sport, or in wrestling, or sports entertainment is what it is. So I'm going to talk about it. Mandy Rose was released not too long ago due to some content that she offered on her fan time page. Fan time, similar to OnlyFans. She offered lewd and risque content, and WWE actually had her drop her women's NXT championship on, I believe it was on, they had her drop it on NXT, or did she drop it on NXT Deadline during that pay-per-view? I don't know. But she dropped the title, and then it was shortly announced right after that she had been released. My opinions on that is that it's unfortunate that WWE had to take this route, especially because Mandy Rose had gone through all the trouble of, you know, being a completely different character and making her way up to that main event status and main event posture, and now she's a free agent now, which great for her. But like, I see many different ways WWE could have went about handling this situation, and firing her was not definitely not the best course of action. Definitely was not the best course of action. But I hope everything's well with Mandy Rose. She had announced that her content won't be going anywhere, so big plus to her. And I wish her well in her future endeavors. That's all I have to say about that. Speaking about more women's wrestlers, Sasha Banks is available to wrestle again on January 1st, and it has been reported that she will perform in New Japan at their Wrestle Kingdom 17 event. News came out a few days ago that the terms of her contract had been ironed out during the summer. She had chosen to leave WWE due to a pay disparity. She felt that she was not offered similar contracts to those of top female wrestlers in the promotion, and WWE felt like they could not see her in the main event scene, or whatever scene she was asking for that type of money. I guess she was asking for main eventer type money, and WWE said, hey, we don't know if you can be a main eventer for 5 years, which is very weird when you consider the fact that she just headlined, that wasn't a headline, but she just had a WrestleMania performance literally the year before. So I don't know what WWE is doing. Hopefully we can see Sasha Banks back in WWE soon, but it's glad I'm glad to see her wrestling again, you know, because it's been a minute. The breakup that her and WWE had, as well as Naomi, it was ugly, and yeah, so I'm happy that she gets to move on. She's going to wrestle where she's going to wrestle. We'll probably see a WWE return sometime in the future. But until then, Sasha Banks is moving on with New Japan. So that's that. And in the final little bit of news, WWE is having their 20th anniversary tribute to the Troop show later on today. Actually, it's in 30 minutes to when I'm recording this episode, so I'm gonna watch that tribute to the Troops. I actually haven't watched a tribute to the Troops in a while, so this is gonna be the first time I've watched in some time, and I'm gonna enjoy that. Without further, what am I doing? Am I introing the podcast now? I don't have anything else to talk about. So thank you for sitting here and listening to me talk for 30 minutes about absolutely nothing. I'll see y'all hopefully during the week with some content. If not, I'll see you next Friday with an episode because I don't have school anymore for a few weeks at least. Thank you for tuning in, and bye.